Hello, I just wanted to show 5 games that are interesting and unique on Roblox. There isn't a strict criteria to how these games are picked, it's just as long as I feel it's both interesting and unique, I feel like it's worth showing. The first game I want to show is If I Made a Sea. The setting of this game takes place in a picture book-like environment where you play as a fish and swim around the sea. You start off by hatching out of an egg and roaming around to find food to eat. After eating enough food, your fish can lay an egg, which will become your next playable fish. Depending on the color of food you ate, the egg color will change, which determines what trait or feature your next generation will have. This will include stuff like the color and the looks of the fish or determine whether or not the fish is predatory. Other than these functions, it's pretty much a free roam of the sea, where you can look at the scenery. Could be both short and long experience depending on what you want to do. The main unique experience is the setting. The gameplay itself is basically a picture book showing a simplified version of a fish life cycle and evolution. Not a whole lot of things you can do, but overall it's an interesting experience. Next is Barry the Hiker. This is pretty much a typical going up game, which you just need to go up, and falling at a certain point will make you lose a lot of progress. It does have checkpoints, but if you messed up, it still hurts your progress a lot. The gameplay revolves around using dash, roll, double jump, and long jump. This is the first time I've seen this type of game with actual platforming mechanics on Roblox. This allows for a wider variety of movement and obstacle for the player to move with. But to be honest, it was very hard for me. I'm not used to playing games like this. The reason for me to choose this game is because of the character you play as, Barry. He looks very abstract. It made me wonder why he looked like that. The environment and the game itself also seems very interesting, as it seems like the world is in some kind of computer. I think the environment of a game can really bring out a game's uniqueness. Technically, the main objective is to go up, but there is also some sub-area and modes, as well as collectible that you can try to get, which is pretty neat. Could be recommended to people who like platformer and would like to challenge themselves to collect collectibles. I will not recommend it to people who do not take rage game well. In this game you will fail a lot, so I suggest you take the warning literally. Boost Vector is basically a racing game, except you're not on any vehicle. Rather, you're running and boosting yourself with a vector band. The bands are your equivalent of a vehicle, so each of them have their own stats and what they're good at. Gameplay wise, you're racing against other players to earn money and XP, requiring you to jump and boost to try and reach first place. There are also a variety of maps with difficulty ranging from easy to very hard, so some of them are actually hard to compete for first place. Although I was playing it, there was only me on the server, so it would probably be better if there are people on the server or your friends to compete with. Playing it by yourself isn't too bad either, since I like running through the course, and the background music is good too, but at some point it feels more like a relaxing game where you can just run to the end without thinking about anything. Personally, I think it's quite a unique concept on the platform. The controls aren't that difficult to learn and are easy to get into. For me, this is more of a fun competition game where you can try and master your movement and the maps, or just try to beat your previous time. I will recommend to people that would like competing for fun but not too into rankings. An average campaign is a pretty simple roguelike turn-based adventure game, where you can choose to be one of the 7 classes to be and play as. The goal is pretty much just you and your party trying to reach further into the adventure and defeating enemies and bosses. In this game, information is a very crucial piece in how you handle different situations. For example, one of the main things is to understand what each of the stats do. Like, you can't expect to increase intelligence as a warrior will increase your physical damage and complain about it. The event chosen may also have different rewards or effect depending on the choices made, and certain events may require you or a party member to pass a check for success of this event. These are all important things to note down. There is also an achievement system where certain achievement can unlock perks and cosmetic to be purchasable, so you can try out different paths or events that may potentially be beneficial to you in the future runs. As this is a roguelike experience, at the end of your run you will be rewarded with currency depending on how well your party did. This will be the loop you will be doing for both information and currencies. These currency can be used to speed up the leveling process of a class, reset skill tree, or purchasing cosmetic and unlocked perks. Even though the game allows you to play by yourself, it is really difficult. The game itself is already hard by itself, but playing it by yourself requires you to do damage, support, and the tanking at all time. It is recommended to play with 3 to 4 people, so I can't really complain there. With more people, the enemy will also get stronger, so everyone needed to pull their weight. This next one has some dark theme to it, so I just wanted to give a warning first before I show the game. Traveler's Sanctuary is definitely one of the more unique games I have found on the platform. This game to me is like an adventure and puzzle game with a slight combat mechanic. The combat consists of just a button for dodge and a button for the special on the weapons. The goal is to collect gifts in each of the world, and each gift collected usually gives you a corresponding weapon related to it. At first the game looked alright, but it gets dark pretty quickly as you progress the world. So if you really want to see what this game is all about, I would recommend you to bring a note and put down all the clues you found on the way, and have ample time on your hand because some of these do take a few hours to complete. How the gameplay works is you select a world you want to go to and go in. Generally for each world you start off with the puzzle part. While the game does give you a clue, it will not tell you or note anything down for you. You will have to figure everything out with whatever you have. After you finish all the puzzle part, you will go to the boss part. Each boss have their own arena and attacks, so you'll need to try to read or remember the attack to dodge them. You will also be granted with a potion, but it has a limited use, so use them wisely. Sometimes it will be better to have weapons from other gifts when facing some of these bosses, as they all have different abilities, but sometimes you really have to power through it even though it's very hard. After you defeat the boss, you will have to find the gift. These are usually where the darker scene takes place and gives a little clue to what happened to the place. As for a recommendation, I'm not sure how I can recommend it due to the nature of this game, but if you really want to explore these worlds and like some decently difficult puzzles, I hope you have fun, I guess.